Hello again, Year 6. Welcome back to Thursday's Big Read lesson. Today, our WALT is to differentiate between statements of fact or opinion. It's one of those strange WALTs and strange tasks that, at first, when you hear them, sound like they should be incredibly simple. But then when you start actually drilling down into it and looking at it in a bit more detail, you soon start to realize that actually it can be quite tricky at times, particularly because a lot of people and a lot of the time in writing, opinions can be delivered as though they were facts. So our Wilf might help us a little bit then. So what I'm looking for from your work today is that you're able to identify where facts or opinions are stated, not necessarily differentiating between them, but finding where a fact or an opinion has been stated. To identify the ways in which opinions can be stated as though they were facts, as I've just said. Often opinions are given as though they are actually facts themselves. And then finally, to be able to display a good understanding of the differences between those facts and those opinions. The text that you're going to be using is that diary entry by Frances from the day she went missing. You've looked at this before, so you're familiar with it. And we're going to be looking for facts and opinions within this piece of text. And that will require us to think carefully about every sentence one at a time. If we don't think about them carefully, then some are going to slip through and we're also going to get them the wrong way round. So let's take a closer look at just the first beginning part of this piece of text. And actually, we're just going to sort of drill down into the very first full sentence. Not bothered about the Dear Diary. That's neither a fact nor an opinion. That's just a construct of a diary. But then the first sentence, we arrived at this rubbishy camp this morning, and I'm already fed up of the place. So how can we judge then between what is a fact and what is an opinion? There's a couple of tricks we can use. Firstly, whenever we are given a verb, then that verb is just a fact. That is something someone has done, those doing words, those past tense verbs. In this case, the past tense verbs would be arrived and fed up. So they are going to guide us towards something being a fact. So, for example, two facts that we can take from that first sentence are that Frances arrived this morning and that she is fed up. They are facts. They can't be debated. They can't be discussed. They are just something that did happen. And as soon as we've got a verb, we know that is something that's happening or has happened, which means it is indisputable, inarguable. You can't say it isn't happening. It is a fact. But what we also have is we have adjectives to describe those nouns. Rubbishy camp. So Frances is saying that she believes, she thinks, in her opinion, the camp is rubbishy. So just from one sentence, we have two facts and one opinion. Fact number one, Frances arrived in the morning. Fact number two, she is fed up of the place. But the opinion is that the camp is rubbishy because it contains that adjective. When we see adjectives, that's often a sign that something is going to be an opinion because that is debatable. That is what we call subjective. Some people might agree with it. Other people, well, they might not. Just because Frances thinks it's a rubbishy camp doesn't mean her parents necessarily agree. In fact, we can safely presume her parents don't agree. They wouldn't have gone to stay there if they thought it was a rubbishy camp. So that is how we can tell whether something is fact or opinion, or at least it's one way we can tell. The first, your task today then is to read through carefully, taking each sentence at a time, just as we did just there, and to add in to your table the facts that you can find and the opinions you can find. So I've already put those two in for you. Fact number one, Frances arrived at the camp in the morning. That is a fact. It's got that verb arrived, past tense verb. The opinion that she's given is that the camp is rubbish. We could also add in the second fact that we looked at, that Francis is fed up is a fact. So you could put that one in. So you've already got 2 facts and 1 opinion. Read through the rest of the paragraph, please, and carefully add in any facts into the fact column that you think you have found, and any opinions into the opinion column. There are plenty to be found, and extra dojo points to anybody who finds all of them and puts them in the correct places. That is your big read task for today. I'll speak to you again very shortly once you finish your big read for your English lesson and your writing tutorial that I'll go over with you in the next video. Until then though, best of luck. Make sure we're being accurate and precise. Make sure we're writing neatly and not making spelling mistakes when the words are written for us. And when you've done that, don't forget to send it to either myself if you're in Cyprus, or to Miss Barrett if you're in Banyan. Best of luck, and I'll speak to you again shortly. Goodbye.